guys and girls, Happy New Year, and I'm kicking off the new year with a new TV show review or a classic review, as I'm going to be taking a look and reviewing all of The West Wing, one of my favourite ever shows from Aaron Sorkin, the idealised political drama, and I'm going to get into it and talk about in the coming weeks just why I love the show so much. It was the show which made Aaron Sorkin a real name, his first breakout in TV, having produced Hollywood scripts for the best part of a decade with a mixed bag of success. His first famous screenplay was for the punchy legal crowd pleaser A Few Good Men from 1992, complete with classic Sorkin histrionics.
Cut these guys loose! Your Honor, you had markets inside a phony transport! Your Honor, you doctored the logbook! Damn it, Kathy! You coerced the doctor!
Consider yourself in control!
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Did you order the code red? You're goddamn right I did!
Sorkin later reproduced A Few Good Men on stage to critical acclaim, reuniting him with West Wing star Rob Lowe. Back in Hollywood, he gave Alec Baldwin some colourful dialogue in the otherwise middling thriller Malice.
If you don't like my jokes, don't laugh. If you have a medical opinion, please speak up and speak up loud. But if you ever again tell me or my surgical staff that we're going to lose a patient, I'm going to take out your lungs with a fucking ice cream scoop.
I'm not gonna like you, am I?
Don't be ridiculous. Everybody likes me.
Sorkin's first TV adventure was Sports Night, a comedy drama which debuted on ABC a year before The West Wing. The series focused on the friendships, pitfalls and ethical issues faced by a creative team on a sports news show under pressure from the network. So the series starred actors who would become big names in TV, so Felicity Huffman of Desperate Housewives, Peter Kras of 6 Feet Under, and Josh Charles later of The Good Wife, with guest appearances from the likes of Brenda Strong, also Desperate Housewives, William H. Macy. It lasted just 2 seasons. A few years before The West Wing, Sorkin wrote the precursor movie The American President with Michael Douglas as the idyllic Democratic president running for re-election following a divorce. His new relationship with environmental lobbyist, played by Annette Bening, threatens to complicate his campaign. It's a solid movie which gave a snapshot of some of the themes which The West Wing would expand upon in greater depth. Future Sorkin president Martin Sheen had a supporting role as well. So on to The West Wing itself, the show which has become the gold standard for political drama. Sorkin saw it as the idealised version of politics, which was to give people hope in public office once again, as America really needed a pick-up with politics in the mud. At the time, he saw Jed Bartlet, the charismatic Martin Sheen, as a blend of John F. Kennedy, Jimmy Carter and Bill Clinton, all wrapped into one. The character of the press secretary C.J. Craig, played with great depth and passion by Allison Janney, was also inspired by Hillary Clinton's real-life press secretary D.D. Myers. The beautiful thing about The West Wing, I think, is that it works for both hardcore fans of politics and also filthy casuals who have little or no interest. Speaks with great depth to people who know politics. Many have commented on how it feels like a very authentic portrayal of life within the West Wing, but also if you have no interest at all, you will be gripped and engaged by the brilliant character drama, the great cast and the fast, witty dialogue as well. The walk and talk was invented by The West Wing, really, and it will appeal to old-fashioned fans of screwball comedy. A lot of subversion to it as well, which I will talk about. Starting off the pilot episode, it first aired on September the 22nd, 1999. It was directed by Thomas Skrellemyr and it was written by Sorkin, unsurprisingly, who scripted the majority of the first 4 seasons, quite a feat, and it drew 16.91 roughly in the Nielsen ratings. It has an 8.5 out of 10 on IMDb, and it is normally rated as one of the better network pilots. President Josiah Bartlet has been absent on a trip in France where he has injured himself on a bicycle. He's returning to the United States with upheaval abroad and also domestically as his Deputy White House Chief of Staff Joshua Lyman, played by Bradley Whitford, gets himself into hot water on a television interview with the Christian right. This becomes the backdrop to the episode with the president out of the country. The opening gives us a slick snapshot at the lead characters and their reactions to the news of the president and the blow up over Josh's comments. This sets up how the president's team never truly switches off and how a somber tone at the very start of the day can suddenly lead to frantic reactions and them having to burst into life.
I'm not talking about this.
Who do I call?
No one.
Just tell me who to call.
Or you could call 1-800-BITE-ME.
Sam?
He's not going anywhere, Billy. It's a non-story.
Okay, you're lying now, aren't you?
That hurts, Billy. Why would I lie to a journalist of all people?
17 across is wrong. It's just wrong. You believe that, Ruth?
You should call them.
I will call them.
Telephone, Leo.
I'm in the shower.
It's POTUS.
Federal investigators have wrapped up their field investigation with an eerie test at the scene. CNN's Jeff Clark.
Yeah.
You can have a normal life. You'd be amazed at how normal I can be. See, it's all about budgeting your time. This time, this hour, this is my time. 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. I can work out, as you see. I can think about personal matters. I can meet an interesting man. The trick is...
Beeper's going.
What?
I think your beeper's going.
Yo, this is Josh Lyman. What's going on?
We ask at this time that you turn off all electronic devices, stow your tray table, and return your seat backs to the full and upright positions. We will be landing shortly at Washington Dulles Airport.
Sir, I need you to turn off your computer.
I'm just about done.
I need you to turn off your laptop, sir. It interferes with our navigational systems.
You know, when you guys say that, it sounds pretty ridiculous to most people, right?
Sir?
Mr. Ziegler? A message was just patched up to the cockpit for you. I'm not sure I've got it right. POTUS in a bicycle accident?
You got it right.
You can't use your phone until we land, sir.
We're flying in a Lockheed Eagle Series L-1011. Came off the line 20 months ago. Carries a SIM-5 transponder tracking system. Are you telling me I can still flummox this thing with something I bought at Radio Shack?
You can call when we land, sir.
Also, I never got my peanuts.
The Toby scene on the aeroplane might be my second favourite scene of the episode after a certain other scene, but Toby, of course played by Richard Schiff, is the king of deadpan, the king of sarcasm, and he's a great everyman and an ultra nerd. Love the fact him knowing that about the technology of the airplane and him rebelling almost against, why should I turn off my cell phone? This is BS. So a great little scene there for Toby and Richard Schiff, and he's right up there for best characters of the show in my opinion. A slow build up to the president's first appearance. It adds mystery to how he will handle the Josh situation and the other stuff going on. It's almost like a monster in a horror movie where you really make him the appearance count when he finally shows up on screen. So you have this nice little scene with CJ and Leo discussing him, and it's clear from this then that CJ doesn't know Bartlett very well, because at this point it's sort of only like the first year into the administration, and I know we get a bit of a backstory about how these characters were brought in from the cold to be like the members of his team a bit later on, whereas Leo has known him for years. They've been friends for years, And he makes the point to CJ in the scene that there's no telling what he'll do. He's unpredictable. So as far as he's concerned, he may well fire Josh outright. So again, that adds to like the build-up and the mystique and just the tension from his team about what exactly will he do in response. So this is a novel choice in itself to make us wait for the first Bartlet appearance. And he has one of the great TV entrances and debuts of any TV character.
The first commandment says, honor thy father.
No, it doesn't.
Toby,
It doesn't.
listen to...
No, if I'm going to make you sit through this preposterous exercise, we're going to get the names of the damn commandments right.
Okay, here we go.
Honor thy father is the third commandment.
Then what's the first commandment?
I am the Lord your God. Thou shalt worship no other God before me. Boy, those were the days, huh?
Good afternoon, Mr. President.
Al, what do we got here, CJ?
Well, we've got some hot tempers, Mr. President.
Mary.
Mr. President, I'm John Van Dyke.
Yes. Reverend?
May I ask you a question, sir?
Of course.
If our children can buy pornography on any street corner for $5, isn't that too high a price to pay for free speech?
No.
Really?
On the other hand, I do think that $5 is too high a price to pay for pornography.
Why don't we all sit down?
No, let's not, CJ. These people won't be staying that long. May I have some coffee, Mr. Lewis? Al, how many times have I asked you to denounce the practices of a fringe group that calls itself the Lambs of God?
Oh, sir, that's not up to me.
Crap, it is up to you, Al. You know, my wife, Abby, she never wants me to do anything while I'm upset. Thank you, Mr. Lewis. 28 years ago, I came home from a very bad day at the State House. I tell Abby I'm going out for a drive. I get in the station wagon, put it in reverse, and pull out of the garage full speed. Except I forgot to open the garage door. Abby told me not to drive while I was upset, and she was right. She was right yesterday when she told me not to get on that damn bicycle while I was upset, but I did it anyway. And I guess I was just about as angry as I've ever been in my life. Seems my granddaughter Annie had given an interview in one of those teen magazines, and somewhere between movie stars and makeup tips, she talked about her feelings on a woman's right to choose. Now, Annie, all of 12, has always been precocious, but she's got a good head on her shoulders, and I like it when she uses it, so I couldn't understand it when her mother called me in tears yesterday. I said, Elizabeth, what's wrong? She said, it's Annie. Now, I love my family, and I've read my Bible from cover to cover, so I want you to tell me, from what part of Holy Scripture do you suppose the Lambs of God drew their divine inspiration when they sent my 12-year-old granddaughter a Raggedy Ann doll with a knife stuck through its throat? You'll denounce these people, Al. You'll do it publicly. And until you do, you can all get your fat asses out of my White House. CJ, show these people out.
I believe we can find the door.
Find it now.
Fix this, Leo.
See that you do.
Later, after everyone leaves the room, Bartlett calmly tells Josh not to do it again. Sheen steals the episode and handles a sticky situation perfectly. He calls out the double standards of the Christian right, scores a fair political point, but he stands by his team while privately warning Josh, a bit like a father would. Another fun thing is the switch around and subversion with Toby and Josh in the scene. Earlier in the episode, Josh is the one defending his comments, almost rashly. Toby is critical, saying it was a dumb thing to do and that the smart choice could be to fire him. By the end of the episode, though, in that scene, Josh is the one that's more humbled, and it's Toby's who's got the fire and passion as a result of being stirred up by the swipe at his Jewish background. Jewish heritage is an important part of the character, and this is a good setup for that in the future. In a solid subplot to the episode, Sam Seaborn gets involved with a character, Laurie, played by Lisa Edison of House fame, so he has a one-night stand with her, not realising that Laurie is in fact a prostitute, aka a lady of the night, or call girl as Sam says, so he sleeps with her without knowing that first of all, and that's a funny nice little switch around as she also doesn't know about his profession, so Sam has to quickly think on his feet about how to handle the situation while considering the impact on everyone, including the president. Now, many shows would just wrap this sticky situation up quite quickly and neatly, but not The West Wing. They do follow this plot line along for the next few episodes. Laurie handles things much more maturely than many people the next day. She actually acts more level-headed about the situation than Sam does. Just a quick question about the scene the next day when Sam uses the code name POTUS for President of the United States, and Laurie doesn't know what it stands for. I sort of feel that nowadays that would be quite common knowledge, but I'm guessing maybe back in 1999, if you were just a member of the public, you might not know. But it's just something I wondered if she came off as a bit naive not knowing that. Seaborn puts his foot in it again later with comedic effect with another woman of the world, this time Mary McGarry, Leo's daughter, who Sam thinks might be a school kid. She's actually the one leading a school field trip to the White House, and the clueless Sam is not up to scratch on his history. Sam has a lot of growing up to do. Life lessons in this episode from two different women, and the show subverts gender types nicely.
The 18th president was Ulysses S. Grant, and the Roosevelt Room was named for Theodore.
Really?
There's like a 6-foot painting on the wall of Teddy Roosevelt.
I should have put 2 and 2 together.
Yes.
Look, the thing is, while there really are a great many things on which I can speak with authority, I'm not good at talking about the White House.
You're the White House Deputy Communications Director, and you're not good at talking about the White House?
Ironic, isn't it?
I don't believe this.
Wait a minute, please. Could you do me a favor? Could you tell me which one of those kids is Leo McGarry's daughter?
Why?
Well, if I could make eye contact with her, make her laugh, just see that she's having a good time, it might go a long way to making my life easier.
These children worked hard. All of them. And I'm not inclined at this moment to make your life easier.
Ms. O'Brien, I understand your feelings, but please believe me when I tell you that I'm a nice guy having a bad day. I just found out the Times is publishing a poll that says a considerable portion of Americans feel that the White House has lost energy and focus, a perception that's not likely to be altered by the video footage of the president riding his bicycle into a tree. As we speak, the Coast Guard are fishing Cubans out of the Atlantic Ocean, while the governor of Florida wants to blockade the port of Miami. A good friend of mine's about to get fired for going on television and making sense, and it turns out that I accidentally slept with a prostitute last night. Now, would you please, in the name of compassion, tell me which one of those kids is my boss's daughter?
That would be me.
You.
Yes.
Leo's daughter's 4th grade class.
Yes.
Well, this is bad on so many levels.
There are some teething problems in this season and the pilot episode, such as the grating, obnoxious Mandy, played by Maura Kelly, an ex-girlfriend of Josh who now works for the opposition. She enters like a yuppie version of Gwen Stefani. More on that in the next episode. The character is very underwhelming and is too in-your-face and cringe. Gross. Kelly was much better, in my opinion, as Laura Palmer's best friend Donna in Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me. But she's not the worst West Wing character ever. I will get to the Jesse Bradford shit list another time. Josh himself comes off as too much of a ladies' man in the pilot. He even has his own fan club of groupies in the coffee shop scene with Mandy. Despite Bradley Whitford's sharp charisma, wit and looks, the character works better as a cool nerd who is more of an underdog with good instincts than a guy who's ever fully in control. The Donna-Josh relationship is maybe the most endearing of the show and leads to one of the greatest will they won't theys in history. One of my favourite ships as well. We get a nice tease here as a fresh-faced, adorable Donna, played by newcomer Janelle Maloney, is quickly at home in the role and is a recent addition as Josh's assistant. The episode also shows how important the female assistants are to the main team. This is why CJ is so important to balance out the gender roles. But Donna being as blunt as she is to Toby in one scene just feels a bit off and out of character, quite rude for the character we would later get to know a bit better. So like I said, a few teething problems for certain characters. The pilot makes a great statement for the show moving forward. It leaves its mark, and I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. A very strong start to the first season of The West Wing, and my MVP of the episode, who else but the president himself, Jed Bartlet, Martin Sheen, fantastic. It's my review of the debut episode of The West Wing. This will be a long-running series, of course. I'm very excited. I want you guys to get involved as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe as always. You can share me out on social media. If you want to help the channel out a bit monetarily, sign up channel memberships across a variety of membership levels, or you can support me for just $1 a month at patreon.com/borednow. But thanks guys, I'll see you again soon with more West Wing. Goodbye.